My style is very much about minimalism. If your vocal has 7 plugins on it, you're probably doing something wrong. Hello friends, Jeff Ellis Worldwide here. You're joining me today in my studio at East West Studios in Hollywood, California. And today I'm gonna be taking you through a session I did with my friend Keon Bell to show you how you can get a very great rap vocal sound with just a couple plugins. So let's get into it and hopefully you learn something. All right, so I have this song up here and we have a rap verse, but there is an issue. A lot of rappers will be right up on the microphone, very close. Under that scenario, you can get something that is very common called proximity effect. When a human voice is really close to a microphone, what ends up happening is there is just an overabundance in low end. Now, sometimes you can use this to your favor if that's what you're going for, but to get a vocal to really sit in a track, well, especially an upbeat rap verse such as this, it's nice to be able to shave a little bit of that off without removing too much low end from the voice. I'm going to use the new Silk vocal to accomplish that task. So take a listen to this and you'll kind of hear what I'm talking about with there being a little bit too much bass.
Probably down sauce and wonder what I guess I'm Kenny Lofton. Famous bitches DM me too often. Might sell TMZ my login. Tell her that I love her, never call her.
Now, all this vocal has on it right now is just some basic EQ, but I don't want to keep pulling bass out of the voice because then in the moments where it's not too boomy, it'll be lacking in kind of that bass. And I love to have a lot of chest resonance and that kind of a vibe in a vocal. So I don't want it to get too thin. So what I'm going to do here is start to use Silk to kind of massage out some of that low end.
Probably down sauce and wonder what I guess I'm Kenny Lofton. Famous bitches DM me too often. Might sell TMZ my login. Tell her that I love her, never call her. Hennessy been clouding on my conscience. Pockets fat, I'm talking. Probably down sauce and wonder what I guess I'm Kenny Lofton. Famous bitches. Probably down sauce and wonder what I guess I'm Kenny Lofton. Famous bitches DM me too often. Might sell. Tell her that I love her, never call her. Hennessy been clouding on my conscience. Pockets fat, I'm talking action Bronson. Tell her that I love her, never call her. Hennessy been clouding on my conscience. Pockets fat. Tell her that I love her, never call her. Hennessy been clouding on my.
You can really tell in this section of the song how shaving off a little bit of that low end allows us to move the vocal more up front in the mix. But one thing I am noticing is because this song is so upbeat and fast, I feel like Silk is reacting a little bit too slowly. So I'm going to make some adjustments in these advanced features down below.
Tell her that I love her, never call her. Hennessy been clouding on my conscience. Pockets fat, I'm talking. Tell her that I love her, never call her. Hennessy been clouding on my conscience. Pockets fat, I'm talking. Tell her that I love her, never call her.
Now, as I'm doing this, I'm hearing the vocals get a little bit more clarity in the diction. The lyrics are getting more clear and it's not overreacting. So let me dial in it a bit further and see what I can do with some of these other parameters of Silk.
Down sauce and wonder what I guess I'm Kenny Lofton. Famous bitches DM me too often. Might sell TMZ my login. Tell her that.
Now you might recognize this as kind of like an RVox style compression. I'm using this just to get a little bit more volume and also a little bit more of that a feeling of the song kind of pushing the vocal to the front.
Down sauce and wonder what I guess I'm Kenny Lofton. Famous bitches DM me too often. Might sell TMZ my login. Tell her that I love her, never call her. Hennessy been clouding on my conscience. Pockets fat, I'm talking action.
As I kind of shave off a little bit of the lows, that can bring the mid-range a little bit more into the picture. And I'm going to use a little bit of this mid-range module to try to finesse the mid-range to see if I can get it sounding a bit more silky.
Down sauce and wonder what I guess I'm Kenny Lofton. Famous bitches DM me too often. Might sell TMZ my login. Tell her that I love her, never call her. Hennessy been clouding on my conscience. Pockets fat, I'm talking action.
Nice. I'm going to do a little bit less here.
Down sauce and wonder what I guess I'm Kenny Lofton. Famous bitches DM me too often. Might sell TMZ my login. Tell her that I love her, never call her. Hennessy been clouding on my conscience. Pockets fat, I'm talking.
Now you can really start to feel how tubby the vocal sounded before as compared to how it sounds now that it's been processed by Silk.
Tell her that I love her, never call her. Hennessy been clouding on my conscience. Pockets fat, I'm talking action Bronson.
Now, when he says Bronson, I'm hearing a little sibilant, so let's see if we can use this high module here to dig into that a little bit.
On my conscience, pockets fat, I'm talking action Bronson. I need clouding on my conscience, pockets fat, I'm talking action Bronson. I need a shot, I might need insurance. Clouding on my conscience, pockets fat, I'm talking action Bronson. I need a shot, I might need insurance. And on my conscience, pockets fat, I'm talking action Bronson.
All right, so we can use this delta knob here to kind of get a sense on what Silk is taking away.
sell TMZ my login.
So what you're getting is a lot of that low end, obviously, and it's catching that high end up here. Now, in the past, we'd have to use a de-esser, you know, some sort of like EQ that had multi-band setting or whatever. This kind of puts it all in one place, but it's more than just that. I think they told me it's just like thousands of EQ points at once. What matters is that it's doing it in a way that's musical. It's not shaping the cadence of the vocal or the pocket too much to the point where it starts to sound over-processed in a way that takes us out of the flow of the song.
And wonder what I guess I'm Kenny Lofton. Famous bitches DM me too often. Might sell TMZ my login. Tell her that I love her.
And what's great about this is too, there's a mix to dry knob here. So you can start to, if you feel like, maybe it's doing a little bit too much, you can just massage it in to taste.
And wonder what I guess I'm Kenny Lofton. Famous bitches DM me too often. Might sell.
Or you could even do like a little bit more aggressive style of this processing.
What I guess I'm Kenny Lofton. Famous bitches DM me too often. Might sell TMZ my login. Tell her that I love her, never call her. Hennessy been clouding up my conscience. Pockets fat, I'm talking action. And wonder what I guess I'm Kenny Lofton. Famous bitches DM me too often. Might sell TMZ my login. Tell her that I love.
Listen to how the vocal moves with the song as you're adjusting the parameters. Take a second to massage this out, and then you're done. And honestly, it's a great vocal chain with literally just 2 plugins.
And wonder what I guess I'm Kenny Lofton. Famous bitches DM me too often. Might sell TMZ my login. Tell her that I love her, never.
Now you just throw in some vocal effects, and you're good to go.
And wonder what I guess I'm Kenny Lofton. Famous bitches DM me too often. Might sell TMZ my login. Tell her that I love her, never call her. Hennessy been clouding up my conscience. Pockets fat, I'm talking action Bronson. I need a shot. I might need insurance like a driver. Got too many bitches on my bumper. I'm a slut, ain't got no moral compass.
It's also full of some really great presets. You can start here, something like this, if you want a good starting point.
And wonder what I guess I'm Kenny Lofton. Famous bitches DM me too often. Might sell TMZ my login. Tell her that I love her, never call her. Hennessy been clouding up my conscience. Pockets fat, I'm talking action Bronson. I need a shot. I might need insurance like a driver. Got too many bitches on my bumper. I'm a slut, ain't got no moral compass. She want me to beat, I'm knife. And wonder what I guess I'm Kenny Lofton. Famous bitches DM me too often. Might sell TMZ my login. Tell her that I love her, never call her. Hennessy been clouding up my conscience. Pockets fat, I'm talking action Bronson. I need a shot. I might.
You kind of have to be aware of how these plugins are working in tandem, but once you kind of get, you know, Silk doing its job, you can go back to a plugin like Magma Channel Strip and kind of start shaping, maybe adding a little bit more drive, or maybe you can add up a little bit more of the bass back in now that a lot of that's being handled by Silk.
And wonder what I guess I'm Kenny Lofton. Famous bitches DM me too often. Might sell TMZ my login. Tell her that I love her, never call her. Hennessy been clouding up my conscience. Pockets fat, I'm talking action Bronson. I need a shot. I might need insurance.
All right, so there we go. I want the major takeaway from this today to be, listen, you don't need a million plugins. You can get it all done with 2, sometimes with 1. Don't be afraid to think, oh, the pros are using all these crazy chains. Like, we're not, and neither should you. If you have a great rapper, keep it simple, because it's not about imparting your engineering or mixing ego onto an artist. It's about using the tools in a way that brings out the performance. So, you know, enjoy, try these plugins out, and thanks for coming through.